Exciting news, everyone. I am launching a 2024 financial challenge and I want you to join me. Let's go ahead and set our financial goals for the upcoming year and share your progress in the comment sections below. Let's build a supportive community so that we can help each other reach our financial goals in 2024 and to grow together. Hi, it's Dr. Joanna Ray with Sustain a Soul, where we talk about soulful and sustainable living, including financial resilience. And in today's episodes, we will be looking at this year's Financial Fridays and also seeing how we can set our financial goals and actually attain them. Let's make 2024 a financial transformation that you'll never forget. So first of all, in looking at your financial goals for 2024, you want to go ahead and look at your current financial situation. Go ahead and take an assessment of your income, your expenses, your debts, and your savings, and see what can you do to actually look at your current financial situation. So this is like looking at your net worth and basically looking at your assets and liabilities. Then what you can do once you've taken an assessment of your financial situation is to go ahead and make some specific and measurable goals. So this means setting goals that are clear and measurable and that you can track so that you can see your progress. And I'm a very numbers person, so it really helps me to see numbers and times and dates and to set them in your calendar. Maybe set a reminder, by such and such date, you need to invest your money. By such and such date, you want to have your debt paid off and so forth. Also, looking at your short-term and long-term goals, that goes right along with making measurable goals. Not all of your goals have to be for the entire 2024. Some of your goals can be just for 3 months, for 1 month, to save up for a vacation, for example. So really, you can have short-term goals such as building your emergency fund or paying off a credit card, or it could be something like saving for a home, saving for retirement. I know for me on this channel, I do have a series which is basically my portfolio update as I try to reach financial freedom in having at least $1 million invested for my retirement. So that is part of my financial goal, and it will definitely be continuing on in the future as it is very much a long-term goal. So why don't you at this point go ahead and make those goals, and when you do, go ahead and put in the comment section below, what are some of your financial goals for this year or for future years? What are you saving for? What are you investing for? What are the things that are keeping you up at night and that you need to set aside money for and make that financial plan so that you reduce that stress in your life? Honestly, this is what this is all for. Okay, and looking at the next thing, if you don't have an emergency fund, please get that sorted. You need to have at least 3 to 6 months of basically your expenses, living expenses saved up. And it's really something that you really need to have. And they say that most Americans don't even have $1,000 in the bank in order to pay for some kind of financial emergency. So if you don't have an emergency fund, go ahead and try to set aside, maybe $100 a month until you get something like $1,000 or $1,200 set aside. And then if you don't already have all of your debt paid off, go ahead and pay off your debts. Debt reduction is the next step. So try to pay off your high interest loans and go ahead and look at your credit card debt, any kind of debt which is very high interest. Any interest that you can pay off, you are actually saving money. And it's significant because if you can pay off a 20% loan, you're saving that 20%. This is what I really want you guys to get from this idea here, that paying off debts is like saving money. Once you have that $1,200 in your emergency fund, pay off your debts as much as possible. Now, I'm not talking about things like mortgages or low interest debts. Those can be things that you pay off over time, and then go back to building your emergency fund until you have that 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. Then the next thing which you can do once you have your emergency fund, once you have your debt paid off, is to go ahead and start investing. I know you could probably start investing beforehand, but maybe in small amounts just to get your feet wet. But honestly, paying off that debt and having that emergency fund is so critical, so much a prerequisite to investing. And the next thing is, if you aren't already, start a budget. Create a realistic budget that accommodates your financial goals and go ahead and track your spending, maybe for a couple of months so that you see what are your normal expenses and then see what you need to plan ahead for, things like insurance, things like trips, vacations. Those will be your sinking funds. So not only do you have your emergency fund, you also have your sinking fund. And then those are things that you're saving for, such as insurance, such as vacations, such as a wedding, and all kinds of things like that. All right. And another aspect which I'm looking forward to doing in this year is to increasing my income. Explore whether you want to do a side hustle. Maybe you can ask for a salary increase at work through a promotion or other means. There's so many ways that you can make a few extra bucks here or there. And if you want to do something substantial, that there are so many side hustles that you can do, or consulting work or freelance work in your spare time. Another thing that I will be doing, and I suggest that everyone continue to do, is to seek financial education. Read some books or attend some workshops. There's so many things that you could be learning in terms of financial education. Follow some experts. Maybe there's some experts out there that you like. I know I watch a lot of YouTube videos that are related to financial education. Of course, you do have to do your due diligence and make sure that who you're listening to is reputable and the books that you are reading. So I do have quite a few books on my list that are financial books. So I will be posting those as book reviews as I read them. And the other thing is to review and adjust your financial plan. Don't just make a plan and stick with it. Adjust it as needed. Maybe you reach your financial goals early, and maybe you get rid of that debt earlier than you thought that you did. So go ahead, and the next thing is to celebrate your milestones. If you go ahead and make some of your achievements, then go ahead and celebrate. They could be things like it's very small and simple, or even something's a little bit more lavish and actually spending money on yourself. I know for me, this is something that I really struggle with because I tend to be a little bit on the frugal side, and I tend not to splurge when I should be celebrating my milestones. So it could be something small if you don't feel like really going out all out, or something kind of a little bit more lavish, maybe if it's a bigger goal. So, and this will help you to feel like you're not like restricting yourself so much, and it will help you to continue being motivated on your path towards your financial goals. And of course, if you always want to try to visualize as much as possible, I've actually made a vision board for myself for 2024, and it's on my computer screen. So it's actually behind this right now. And it is just showing me traveling and attaining my YouTube channel goals, and enjoying cafe lattes and having a social life with my friends and all kinds of things and related to fitness and so on. So if that calls to you, go ahead and make a vision board, and your financial goals should be a part of that, in your vision board. So there's so many visualization techniques. If that's something that interests you, maybe go ahead and write in the comment section below. I can definitely add some more content related to that. I just want to present my financial goals because this is a financial challenge, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I plan to read 6 financial education books this year, and also to maintain my emergency funds and sinking funds, and then to live a slightly larger life than I have been in the past couple years, especially with trying to have 1 to 2 international trips and about 4 to 5 domestic trips this year. Also, I'm looking to invest at least $20,000 into the stock market or crypto with about $1,666 a month. And that is to reach a goal of $150,000 invested by the end of this year, if possible. And that will depend significantly on the status of the market this year. And then also to try to make my side hustle reach, some kind of income generation. Any kind of income generation would be great, but I'm looking at something like $500 to $1,000 a month. And lastly, I'm going to put into my plan to actually celebrate my wins because, like I said, this is something that I personally struggle with myself, and I want to make it so that I actually stay motivated to stay on track instead of feeling that pinch of, restriction and contraction all of the time. And I'm trying to live a more abundant life with a more growth mindset. And I think this just goes hand in hand with that. All right, so that's it for today's Financial Fridays. Thank you so much for being here. It's so appreciated. If you like this content, go ahead and click like and subscribe. It helps me so much with the algorithms, and it helps me to see what you like and that you can also get more content just like this. So if you like this video, go ahead and check out the next one, which is about lifestyle inflation. Thank you so much.